Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland, inching ever closer to the release of Companies 3. Off here to 1v1 on Amilly Fields in the north is Oziligath fighting here for the Red Army of the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. Here with combined arms, with anti-tank and ambush tactics, guards of infantry, reconnoiter flights, the howitzers, and precision bombing strikes. In the south it is the one and only Orangepest, most orange of pests. Off here with the German army, Deutschland, featuring Jäger infantry, Osttruppen, and strategic reserves, forming up here with the 1st Panzer Division versus Oziligath's here 12th Tank Corps. As always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters who keep making the Propagandacast possible with their generous patron support there. So big thanks to all those. Other people join the ranks of our Patreon page as well. Links in the description. Otherwise, we're off to the races here between Orangepest and the Oziligath. Who shall be the victor? Pioneers moving forwards here, and there we go. We get Orangepest with strategic research featuring assault grenadiers, the Panzer IV Model J, breakthrough packages, mobile observation posts, and the Tiger tank. We got, or Tiger specifically, triple conscripts here for Oziligath, Grenadier MD42 here. So steady advance here from both sides. Oziligath going for the western fuel point, Orangepest for the eastern fuel point. Tends to sort of, shall we say, be a normal distribution here, sort of how people focus on the fuel points in the early game. Orangepest might be planning some assault grenades for Oziligath, or is it a sniper, or he's just sort of kind of forgotten he's got enough manpower to call in infantry. So a few possibilities here from Orangepest. Sam X here preparing for any German assault, and we do in fact get a very early sniper for Orangepest versus Oziligath. An interesting choice there, looking for some attritional warfare, but also, shall we say, psychological warfare. Comes with the Grenadiers here. Bit of skirmish in there, machine gun holding up here. Rage for Rash Forts and back up the Grenadiers. Note it has not been set up there. 4th conscript there for Oziligath. Interesting build order here. Could perhaps indicate he's either not planning to go for Guards of Infantry, actually intending to go for 5 infantry squads here versus Orangepest. Will be interesting to see how this goes. Either way, though, in both cases, not quite typical commander choices. In particular, combined arms is fairly rare in 1v1 metagame there. 4th conscript they're done for Oziligath, though. So that's a lot of infantry here. Going straight for the company out maneuvering here, Orangepest. Moving forward to with a scope to give Air 43. We got Pioneers based on the west, can of course push to the point there. Most German snipers, they were typically equipped with Karnat TKs, or if they could get their hands on them, scoped most guns from Soviet snipers. So, little fun fact there. Engineers falling a bit back here. 2nd Grenadier squad there for Orangepest. No assault grenadiers whatsoever. Guess he's not a fan of them, and they do tend to be somewhat a divisive unit amongst the Wehrmacht players. Some like them, a lot do not, though. Ground lesson point the Pioneers. Grenadier squad number 2 for Orangepest and the 1st Panzer Division. 1st Panzer Grenadier Regiment. 5th Panzer Grenadier Company. We got engineers comes with the Pioneer here in the west. Going out here, Grenadiers sniping forwards. Catching that in the open, pushing the back. We got the Continental East side here. Machines about to walk into them. Sniper their scores a kill. We got 2 kills so far here on Orangepest Sniper. Con's going to flank around the MB42 in the center. We got Grenadiers pushing back the front. We see on the west side here, Pioneer overwhelmed here as Oziligath unleashes a rather fierce force there. And there's certainly also one of the risks with snipers. If you get up as a player with like a lot of infantry, you do risk falling a bit behind in map control, and it will take the sniper a bit of while to, so say, get going in terms of making an impact on the opponent in some situations. Oziligath here has gone for medics. As for Orangepest, we are seeing tech. There's a 2 Grenadiers, sniper MD42, fairly infantry-like tier 1 there. Sniper scores another kill there. Give Gianni drops dead. And he's moving towards the center here. We got 441 to 500. So far, Oziligath's got a nice lead here. Orangepest. Engineers pushing in there, backed up by the Frontovics. More conscripts converging. In fact, it's a big convergence here from Oziligath. Not event, just convergence of infantry. Grenadiers forced back here. There you go, tack down for Orangepest. Some Panzer Grenadiers could be a very nice addition here. There we go. Some hardened Panzer Grenadier here. Sniper falling a bit back here up north. We got the Grenadiers machine in there. In a bit of a spot of bother as Oziligath quickly outmaneuvers them there. Straight for the car point again. So far, Oziligath is maintaining good initiative versus Orangepest. We got 4 kills on the sniper here so far. Panzer Grenadier scored almost down for Orangepest. Some light vehicles would also be a good addition here for Orangepest. Most likely armoured cars, but with strategic reserves, he could try and go for the 250.5 check, lay down some Regal Mines here and there. That could be a fun option. Bunker up for Orangepest. Pioneer pushing straight for the Western Fuel Point again. Well, the way the resources are flowing here, Orangepest is basically deciding what matters right now is just ensuring his opponent doesn't get too much of a fuel lead over him, which actually makes a lot of sense. Bagudan, though, Panzer going to be moving forwards here with a Sturmgewehr 44. Once he gets to the second command point here, he will unlock smoke grenades for them, which is like pretty handy for a Panzer Grenadiers to have. There you go, conscripts is retreating, since conscripts versus Panzer Grenadiers at sort of mid to short ranges, it tends to be very much Panzer Grenadier favored, and plus, of course, there's the bundle grenade. So in this case, Oziligath retreated, and even then, with that bundle grenade on the retreat path, they were kind of close to just being completely just wiped out there. Pushing east against the concept of the Eastern Field Point. Up close again, the Panzer Grenadiers will very much enjoy an upper hand here versus the conscripts, unless, well, things get very lucky here for Oziligath, which apparently they sort of do, in particular with the arrival of the second conscript squad here. That does put a bit of a dent into Orangepest's infantry assault there. Most of those forces moving at the west side. Pioneers have secured the Western Field Point. Of course, now the second order of business there is, of course, to get the fuel point connected. Otherwise, there's not much point in directly having it, except to deny the opponent fuel. Oziligath with the Tankovi battalion command here. Could be a T-70, could be an anti-aircraft tower attack. Both are very much viable options here. Panzer Grenadier reinforcing healing. No like to make a nice company for Orangepest. Interesting choice there. And a quick telemine here, just to sort of deal with any potential T-70 rushes, or, of course, anti-aircraft rushes. Like, neither is particularly impervious to telemines. And there you go, we do get the T-70. So Oziligath wants to hit his opponent a bit harder with that, rather than, for example, say, trying to rush ahead there towards tanks of a slightly higher weight class. Orangepest, of course, will need some anti-tank guns or a lot of armored cars to take on the T-70. It's that, or he has to get really lucky and hope his opponent drives straight into the telemine on the T-70. I mean, that could happen. That definitely can happen, has happened before, and will happen again, but, you know, it's sort of more tricky if that's like your only thing you're basically betting on than just hitting a one telemine. That's typically a bit ambitious. Caught here laying down mines, in theory, except no one's paying attention.
Half tracks now retrofitted with anti-tank mines.
And there we go, Panzer up Economic Fields here for Orangepest and the 1st Panzer Division. T-10 rushing forwards here. And he's being pushed back here. Man lost there as Ulrich gets blown to bits by the T-70 and his 45mm gun. Here aiming forwards, machine gun there flanked by the counters here. Pretty bad spot to call here for Orangepest. Really a big mess when you think about it here. One squad there panics to runs into the nearby shed, it would appear, and then runs out. Wants to remember if they get caught in there by the commissar. Well, that coat's inside's going to get a nice new... Well, Shack's inside there's going to get a nice new coat of red. So, Pioneers there. Force withdraws well here. Note, of course, the Pioneer support package, which gives them access to satchel charges, better repair speeds, and the ability to just, you know, lay down demo charges as well for blowing up cover. Overall, it's a pretty decent upgrade. But in terms of, like, combat impact, nothing immediate unless you can get off, like, a really amazing satchel charge in the Oziligath. Mines laid down the center victory point. So far, Oziligath continues to enjoy strong macro of this Orangepest again. The sniper just didn't quite have that impact. I think Orangepest was home poor against the sort of play. He might have been hoping Oziligath would have gone for more conventional 3 conscript to engineer build, but with a 4 conscript build, the sniper obviously runs into some issues in terms of map control. In part because, again, he's up against, like, you know, typically a lot of 4-man squads, with the snipers less impactful. And there we go, Oziligath ultimately does go for a guards rifle into squad, pushing up to 5 infantry squads versus an opponent with just 3 squads and a sniper and a machine gun. So things are about to get possibly a bit tough here for Orangepest here versus Oziligath. Except with that T-10 off on the field as well. That's, of course, another challenge here for Orangepest and the 1st Panzer Division. You force the conflict in the east. Pioneers are trying to get on that carve point. Probably not going to blow up their own cover there. That would be a very strange choice there from Orangepest. Mine goes off here. And that was a sniper getting wiped out, by the way. Excellent value there for Oziligath, and Orangepest commits to a 2nd sniper in response to this, well, explosive death of his first sniper. That's another 300 manpower then on snipers. Not like, again, like the first sniper really, I think, had a significant impact, so I do have to slightly question the validity of Orangepest going for a second sniper here. Admittedly, I'm generally not a big fan of snipers in the first place in company heroes, but, you know, even with that in mind, I feel like here the sniper just really hasn't been, you know, doing a lot of lifting here for Orangepest. We'll see. Either way, second sniper out there for Orangepest and the German army. Tech done. That'll probably mean the Supremacy in the near future, and hopefully we might see some Panther Model Gas, as of course they will be quite helpful here for Oziligath. Their improved accuracy compared to the regular Panther, amongst other things, makes them quite handy. Plus, better veterancy bonus because the fact they start with the armored side skirts and thus more armor also means they don't have to spend a level of veterancy on that. Instead, they can get more accuracy. So, I bet you 2 Panther 4 Model J is easily much better than a regular Wehrmacht Panther 4 because of that. Before the conscript, T-Sim, of course, remains a massive issue. Pioneers rushing straight into it. Sniper there hiding out, getting another kill before retreating. West side here we got Panzers to the guards, but need to get a bit closer, I think, for most optimal communist killing effectiveness. There we go, though. Of course, need to be careful about getting grenade there chucked at them. There we go, though. One man down, and is that an anti-tank rifle? Is that a DP light machine? There's the PTS-41 anti-tank rifle. Back here, reinforcing healing. You could, of course, also say go for Fahrstug or Ostwind here versus Oziligath. I believe might be planning a mechanized armor company already now. Yes, indeed. And, of course, at that stage, can upgrade his concepts. One small win here for Orangepest, though he did wipe one of Oziligath's infantry squads, utterly annihilating them. That is a definite improvement here for Orangepest. So, Pommel going up as well for him. Panzer can even call it with the T-70. Sniper there's going to kill the conscripts, and no one just wants that PTS-41. Just lying about there like a discarded sock in the middle of an open transit hall. Comes there, it's MD-42. He's out there, and he's pushing for the eastern field point. Quickly routed here, we got Sniper there with 3 kills so far. T-70 scoring veteran to 1. Oziligath, you can pretty much push for a fast T-34 from 6 of Orangepest. He could respond with a fast Stug, but I mean, you know, the number of Wehrmacht players who go for fast Stugs can typically be counted on one hand in one that's lost a few fingers. So, air recons here from Oziligath. Sniper scores another kill, up to 5 now. And he's about attacking the east by the T-70 there. I mean, it's quite interesting to note, he's trying to go for the eastern field point, but you sort of notice how he's like weighting most of his forces. He's actually weighting towards here, which means it would actually make more sense for him to go for the western field point rather than the eastern field point, because this kind of situation makes it much easier for him to screen the western field point compared to the eastern field point, again, like has to detach forces much further away from his core to defend that. So that's a bit of an odd tactical choice, I'd say, there by Orangepest, personally. Comes in the center here. Got the guards caught here, caught. There you go. Panzers on the flank here. Threatening the potential of battle grenade, of course. Oziligath doesn't know how much munitions Orangepest has, and again, he doesn't know he doesn't actually have the munitions currently. But of course, most sensible people here, of course, are going to assume your opponent has it and just not take the chance. Because what happens if you decide to, you know, take the chance, it turns out they do have the munitions, then you're in a really bad place. I'm not talking a gulag outside of Chelyabinsk. Panzer there being pushed back with the T-7, the conscripts there. Lack of support there. He's closing in. It looks like on the Panther 4 model here. He is not going for the regular Panther 4 here. Thumbs up to that. He's also got a fair amount of manpower floating. Could maybe consider some additional MD-42s. A mortar could also be a good addition here for Orangepest. We'll of course have to go for. There we go. MD-42. And again, closing on that Panther 4 model J. East side here, Grenadiers going to the Indonesia on the eastern field point. Center seizing the conscript. Center being seized by the conscripts. Field gun there for Oziligath. Pioneer here. Oh, he tops the satellite charge! And Oziligath doesn't... Oh, so close there. He almost had it. Only by moving it just a few inches there did he save his T-70. He did wipe the Pioneers, so that forces Orangepest to replace them, though it does technically also delay his Panther 4 model a bit here. Of course, at the same time, he does need Pioneer support. That said, I'd cancel the Pioneers, go for the Panther 4, then go for the Pioneers again. But that's just me. Like, I'd prioritize getting on that Panther 4 model as soon as possible here, personally. So, nice after charge. They definitely like the effort. That said, he's just going to use the secure mode here to grab the point there. So, nice return there, but Oziligath in a sense. Here's the consoles here. Machine and Gewehr sniping up here. Panzers that are ready. Panther 4 module on the way there for Orangepest. Pioneers can, of course, be upgraded here with the, well, respective upgrades. Machine gun catching the comes from the west. And again, 2 machine guns will certainly help a lot here for Oziligath in terms of controlling the map against Oziligath. And there's certainly an argument, instead of going for that sniper, he should have gone for second MD42. And imagine that second MU42 is going to have a much bigger impact on Oziligath than that second sniper. We'll see. Panzers is the concept veteran too, which is also where the Panzers really start to, so to say, gear up in terms of combat effectiveness here. But they start to make a more significant impact. They're being ripped apart, but there you go. T-34-6 on the field poses a significant issue here, of course, to Orangepest's infantry welfare. But there you go, we got the Panther 4 model out here for Orangepest, the Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung J, last model of the Panther 4 series. Bit more of a budget version, but still with some extra neat additions, like the Verteidigungswaffe, which was a self-defense weapon. Sort of like, you know, imagine like a small port where you could fire like a flare pistol with various types of shots, like fragmentation, smoke, and flares. MD42 was the T7 there, of course. MD42, great versus infantry, lesser against Soviet light tanks. That, of course, is where the Panther 4 model gear comes into the picture here.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
And a second pack 40 here for Orangepest, another Panzerabwehrkanone 40. He's taking RC8 here, down to 2 men in a matter of moments, down to 1 man. Boris there making a run for it.
Gun is ready for orders.
Almost wiped out there. And he's caught out in the open by the T-34-6. Panther 4 takes a nice hit from the field gun there right through the side armor. Into the concept of the Eastern victory point. T-34 will pick the Grenadiers. 10 kills in the sniper. Going back to the Panther 4, some quick repairs here. Not a bad idea, honestly, for Orangepest. So, but the Panther 4, he should be able to much more easily stabilize, particularly when the factor in he has a second MD42. Can't understate how helpful that's going to be against all of his infantry as well. As long as he doesn't run it straight into a T-34, obviously. Or a T-70. Even got a second T-34 for Oziligath. Also worth noting, Oziligath is actually ambushing, setting up his field gun in ambush mode. Thumbs up to Oziligath. Can be quite nasty to deal with, if set up correctly. Ground Western point with the conscripts, of course, they have pretty much all been upgraded to 7-man status. Fresh area controls here from Oziligath versus Orangepest. Once more scouting as opponents' moves from above. Nice shot there from the field gun. Panther shoots and misses. Panther there busy in the center. Sniper with 11 kills. Looks like they're going to go hunting for that field gun crew. Good shot there. T-42 advancing. Pack shoots and misses. The shot completely goes off. Could consider popping a smoke grenade with the Panther before trading. Also in part to allow the Pack 4 to reposition a bit. Meanwhile, Panther being attacked by conscripts here, field gun forwards. West side there, a bit of progress. He's going to flank in here on Oziligath's western push, or center push. Actually, east side here, conscript for the eastern field point. Oziligath will feel like maintain some pretty good like oversight of the battlefield inside of his head. Is quite able to like exploit whenever Orangepest loses, you know, effective control of the eastern field point. He just constantly grab. But there you go, though. Rifle grenade utterly wipes out a conscript there from the face of the earth. Excellent kill here for Orangepest. Excellent. And there's of course your Oziligath, in which case you probably have a lot of other words for it, but none of them particularly positive. Machine gun there. Almost got the western victory point here. T-70 moving in. Closing on another Panther 4 model J, most likely, but could also be a Stug on Ostwind. Maybe a regular Panther 4. We'll have to see, of course, how much nerves the Orangepest has. Some players here I think might be tempted to go for the regular Panther 4s. They can just get it out faster compared to another model J, but 2 Model J's would certainly offer a lot of benefits when it comes to murdering infantry. Telemines here, thumbs up. Heading for that eastern point, finally got the Panthers moving, but they're already not reinforced here. Might be an need to support them with a tank, partly because they can also that way activate their combined arms bonus. Field gun number 2 on the way for Oziligath. Panther 4 remaining there. Got the Panther 4 on the way, Cons coming forwards, Pack 4 being caught out in the open, grab the eastern point of the Pioneer. Straight up for the western point here. And the field gun there is almost done for Oziligath. That's going to be a challenge there for Orangepest. And I think would necessitate some artillery to help with. Some mortars could be a very good addition in for that particular purpose. Guards ground that western point again. Going to be shooting from the center. Can go for a second Panther 4 Model J in just a few seconds. Could also advance to that eastern victory point now. Western on front of the Red Army. Guards from there backed up. A T-Fed force from 6 got the Panther 4 pack moving in there. May want to get in some infantry assist. And there you go. Second Panther 4 Model J there for Orangepest. Going to see healing up the pack crew. Thumbs up. Panther is fully reinforced. Panther 4 Model J moves up, shoots and misses. Pioneers could try and move up there. He could also wait a bit longer, maybe lay down some S-mines. That could actually be a pretty good way of dealing with Oziligath just running up and grabbing the point here and there. Since so far, he just uses conscripts for it, so they're not kind of minesweepers, obviously. So that could be a neat way they've just, blowing them up. But there you go, more aerial concept for Oziligath. Second Panther 4 Model almost done here. Looks like it's going to hit hard on the right flank here with the T-Fed 4, in fact. That's going to draw away some attention for Orangepest from the center or the west side here. West side there, Guards pushing forwards, Pack 4 primary current fire for the Propagandacaster. Guards from there loses the sergeant of the team. Panzer's closing in here. Quick grenade here. Oh, they can't run into themselves. They actually kill one of their own winner, but there you go. T-34 from this scores a devastating hit in return. But the Propagandacaster do manage to get 23. We've seen they catch them comfortably on the open. Pioneers closing in there. As soon as there's a press, of course, they can quickly move and just contest the point. Panther 4 Brahmi as well, of course, is a big threat there to the infantry. And Oziligath bring up his artillery, the Katyusha. Second field moving about, both in ambush mode.
Standing by.
Remember, Dimitri, Germans can't, perceive movement very well or lack of movement. So if you move very slowly, the Germans cannot see you. What? That can't be right. No, look. What? It's working, yes. How? I don't know. Ask the Canadians. Anyways, teasing about here.
Aerial reconnaissance standing by. Rocket launcher on the field.
Pack 4 going to hit the T-34 some 6. Good shot from the field gun there, right for the Panther 4's front kilometer. That's it, exposed. Small hit there, but the Panther 4's under half health. Sniper is going to go for an instant exposed round here. There he goes, stuns the crew, but a bit late there, and the Panther 4's in fact almost knocked out. Pack 40 shoots, not quite a good hit there. Second Panther 4 going for deep flank around here, perhaps, in which case could maybe do some damage here to Oziligath. Though, of course, there are some risks associated. Got the field gun there. Would be a good move for Orangepest to destroy this field gun before Oziligath has a chance to grab it back here on the slate. He's moving in the pack, but I'm guessing this is a misclick or the pack crew just being dumb because it's moving about in a really, really bad way. In particular, the way it's moving about, it means it's going to be very difficult to get it out of there because, straight at backwards, it's going to be right into a bunch of hedges and some very ticked off squirrels. I think the smarter move, again, assuming this was unintentional anyways, but would have been to move up here and then shoot at that. Conscripts back by the Ace Panzergrenadier. They're definitely a menace to conscripts. T-Sun finger on the T7. Oh, Pack 40 there. Still, Orangepest sort of finally starting to get some more advantage versus Oziligath, so thumbs up to that. Needs another one bleeding out Oziligath, even if Oziligath does have a lead still over Orangepest. I also find it interesting he's gone for like triple packs here versus Oziligath. I don't think he's aware of the Katyusha though. But it does make me wonder what he's planning. He's going to go for triple packs here. Like, you rarely see triple packs because they do have a fair amount of risk associated with them. There, Katyusha barrage off in the center. Got the T-Feds moving there, exploiting now the bit of the chaos caused by the Katyusha here to try and sort of catch all the packs moving, but now we got a line of full 3 packs there, and obviously the only right decision for Oziligath to make here is just get the T-Fed out of there before they get turned into scrap metal sculptures. Tier 4 here, so it might be that the reason Orangepest is going for triple packs here is because he's now hoping to stall out for a Tiger race, which is an interesting choice. A very interesting choice. I'm still not entirely sure if triple packs is right for that, but we shall see. Slamming eastwards here, now the T-34 there for Oziligath and the Red Army. So there you go, Tier 4 researched. Can build the heavy Panzer Corps. Sharpshooter moving eastwards, 18 kills, Veterancy 2. 19 kills. T-34 some 6, number 3 almost done. Gonna use the conscripts. Sniper there with 19 kills, T-34 moving eastwards. Gonna need a bit of trouble there though. Their retreat path is looking a lot more exposed here to Oziligath's forces. Machine gun though here to save the day somewhat. And the Guardsmen suffer loss, and they actually drop one of their DP light machine guns here. That could be a pretty good haul here for Orangepest. Also worth noting that Grenadier Squad has not been upgraded. So will he build a heavy Panzer Corps in the near future here? Ways Pioneers moving back to the base. It would appear to the answer to that is yes. Fair amount of tanks on the field now, and of course a large amount of anti-tank guns. Mines here, obviously trying to catch up any German armor in case Orangepest decides to get a bit blitzkriegi. A lot of mines, in fact, from Oziligath. Thumbs up to that. Heavy Panzer Corps there for Orangepest. Pack shoots, misses the T-Fed 476 kind of narrowly there. MD40 with the advancing conscripts, trying to get that Western victory onto their hands once more. And again, area consi, and there you go. Sniper, one shot here by the T-70, or was it the T-34 all the way that sniper went down. I'm not talking downtown, unless hell counts as downtown. Anyways, T-70 knocked out, a good kill here for Orangepest and Oziligath here. That's sad. He still has 3 T-34 and a Katyusha. One of the pack crews suffers the immediate impact of that, and the second pack crew joins in the afterlife as well here. Heavy losses for Orangepest now, 2 packs and a sniper gone at the cost of 1 T-70. Not exactly a great treat there for Orangepest. For Oziligath, meanwhile, that's pretty nice. Panther 4, they're going in pretty hard. Need to be careful they're not to extend here as the T-34 is already down to half health. Almost got the T-34 there, but it's itself down to half health. It is Veterancy 2 though, and looks like he needs to recruit one of the packs here, while the other was utterly destroyed and turned into scrap metal. Quick to try and grab the point with the T-34 Thumbs up to Oziligath for making fairly, consistent use of the secure modes on his tanks. Now the T-34 for Oziligath, just replacing the T-70 with a bigger tank. Forcing healing.
We are awaiting orders. T-34 ready for action. As ready as we can be.
Heck, they're holding out.
Recon aircraft is refueled. T-34 crude loaded and ready.
Katyusha moving forwards. And he's on the center. And 4 heading eastwards. Pack machine gun is in the center. 4th T-34 over here. On the west side, we've got the Panzer gun moving forwards. Guard squad opening up here. Pack shoots, hits a nearby wooden shed. Hits it again. North here, the Panzer's been caught here with the guard squad. Could have popped a smoke grenade, but Orangepest just does not seem to be big on smoke. fresh air recons. I mean, he's been fairly consistent with that. I mean, he's made use of 3 of the abilities here, though we haven't seen a howitzer. The only precision bombing strikes from Oziligath, though. As for Orangepest comparison, we've seen the Panther all day, the breakthrough packages, but nothing here of the assault grenadiers or the mobile opposition posts, and certainly no tag race. But it does appear like he's going for it. I mean, he's almost got the fuel there. Manpower-wise, he's sort of there as well. It's going to take a bit while. Their Tifa are going for deep flank. Coordinate again with the CoH2 and the air recons here. Oziligath's able to launch a pretty effective attack here. But Orangepest and exploring the fact is Panther 4 number 2 is all over the east side of the map here. You know, having a bit of like a little tour there. Pioneers swap huge blows into Orangepest. Oziligath just absolutely just bashing Orangepest here. Like smashing his face into the floor. And you force the guards in the west side. Really just a devastating hit here on Orangepest. Devastating. And highlighting a bit, the dangers relying too heavily on Pack 40s after a certain point, I suppose, as an opponent with the CoH2s. But I think also just crucially the danger of trying to stall for a tied race. Like, so much can go so very wrong, so very fast, at which point again, like, you know, the tied race is not going to like be pushing into like even like a remotely even situation. It's going to be pushing into like a situation that's going to have to like, you know, carry all the weight and hope to, you know, bail your ass out. Fourth G-Fed 468 for Oziligath. I mean, he could maybe get within a minute, but the problem is, again, within a minute, how much more damage can Oziligath do to Orangepest? And he does have the both Panther 4s, but there's just one problem. He doesn't have any Pioneers to repair them with, because, again, that Tiger race requires a lot of manpower. Going for Panther 6 here. Certainly indicating how desperate he is against all these tanks from his opponent, that he's actually willing to otherwise sacrifice an excellent anti-infantry squad for anti-tank purposes or duties. That is, I think, a really good indicator just to, like, you know, how much this whole stall for Tiger Race strategy so far backfired on Orangepest. So far, at least. I mean, maybe the Tiger Race will turn anything around. He does have 2 Panther 4s, even though one of them is, like, you know, fairly heavily damaged. So, there we go. He can go for the Tiger Race now. He just needs to press the button, and there we go. Tiger Race summon 4th here to assist the otherwise beleaguered 1st Panzerdivision in the sector, hauling forwards. Can Orangepest, though, get the Tiger Race pull on? Again, the thing is, he's up against so many T-54s and 6s backed up by a field gun that it's going to be a bit of a challenge here for Orangepest. T-54 when advancing on these, T-54 moving up, good shot on the T-34 there from the Tiger Race. Field gun that gets a good hit in return. Nice little ambush shot. Oh, the Panther 4 blitzing in there. There's a T-54 coming the flank here. Shot bounces though. He needs to get the Tiger Race in as well. He needs to get aggressive. He needs to hit hard. He needs to hit deep. Problem is, all that is running into some issues because it just doesn't have a lot of forces to hit hard with. Panther team being caught up with the infantry. Panther 4 there with the damaged engine. He still needs Pioneers, but he's short on manpower. Tiger Race is shocking off most of the shots here, but so far has really only managed to kill a single, you know, communist. And that's it. And there you go, the Panther team almost got wiped out. Tiger bounces another shot here, field gun at the ready. Panther 4 being flanked by the T-54 from 6. The Panther 4 there. Yeah, got the Panther 4 there with the T-54 from 6, and he's going to ram the T-54 there, crushing most of the machine gun crew in the process. And with that, the Tiger Race is stuck with a damaged engine at the worst possible time. It's got 120 left here versus the 283 of Oziligath. Got the T-54 from 6 here. More Pioneers finally on there for Orangepest, but the question is, of course, by the time those Pioneers arrive, will there be anything to repair? In the end, he got 1 T-34 from 6, and his opponent still has 3 left. And Orangepest has mostly a bunch of damaged tanks, a bit of infantry, and some machine guns. Here it comes again here from Oziligath. Using elite self-repair there, that does help get the Tiger Race back in action fast. Thumbs up to Orangepest for using that one at least. Now they could use your bounty right at the base entrance, hoping to catch some German troops moving forwards here, and that does appear to be working. Machine gun Tiger Race moving forwards. More damage inflicted, shots bouncing off there. Machine gun there sending out in a rather not great spot there for Orangepest machine gun crew here. Quickly falls back here aboard the T-34 some 6s. Tiger is withdrawing. We got 72 202 versus 283 here. Machine gun on the west side. Again, catching the T-34s from 6s, which is the last target the machine gun really wants to be shooting at. So, not looking great here for Orangepest. Not looking great. Field gun shoots. Penetrating hit here. T-34 ramming it straight ahead. Right in front of the field gun. Stuns it up, of course, briefly as well. Anti-tank grenades from that. I think it's safe to say this is GG here for Orangepest in this tag race. He did get another T-34, but obviously it's going to come at the cost of his tag race, which, I know, that's a pretty bad trade. So there you go, Oziligath scores the win, Orangepest pops out, and there you go, GG, game over. A loss for the German army, a victory here for the Red Army, a nice back and forth battle. Orangepest, I think, definitely had some good moves, but there were definitely some odd choices there again. I feel like the Slavi just wasn't a great pick here, and the second one in particular I think was a rather bad pick. I think he should have gone for more machine guns earlier, and I think also more infantry would have helped him. And of course the tag race I think was just not the best pick there. I think some Stuks to back up his Panther Model J's would have been, well, an infinitely better choice there. So, anyways, that's just me. Hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, check, comment. Consider donating to support the Propagandacaster. It's worth it. Links in the description, or if you're in the market of pre-order copies free, which again releases in less than a week, you can do so with the link in the comments. Use the code STUK3G and I get a 15% cut of the sale, which you know is very nice for me. So thank you all for joining in. You all a wonderful audience, and hope to see you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.